left for dead when he respawned. He does not have the BKB on the Beast, and as soon as the Beastmaster dies, like I said, this is such a key hero to have in the fight. After that, I think it was T1's fight to take. You know, they're just gonna be able to kite around the Duza with the Doom, and there's just not enough damage coming out of Tundra just yet.
The Aghanim Scepter was completed on 9, but it's still tough to play Interrupt when they all-in your hero like that, and the Supernova is there to cover the, you know, Aegis respawn on 33, and are they going to get him? Cuckoo jumps, BKBs, and it's going to head out. So, no way to burst that hero, at least not quickly enough.
Yeah, so the BKB is a good choice by Cuckoo because one of the only ways he dies is through Void Spirit jumping him. The bottom lane.
Hoof Stomp after. Inferno Blade. Socks are dead.
Close. And the Zephyr is actually really strong. He's overtaking his Phoenix in net worth.
It's kind of wild.
He's the carry now. And they all mass TP top. They want to chase here.
And Snake the Witchblade, the DOT coming through and finding their man. Does manage to get the taunt, the roar down, but the heal.
The dive bomb.
Be enough, no. Dive bomb was what ended up finishing him. And Cuckoo keeps running in for more. Does have that Supernova still.
Look at that Aether
Rupture. Yeah, the range is so nuts. He Astral steps away to die in Rupture. It happens to the best of us.
That's the lens for sure by the CM. But yeah, Karl does die, and he did buy back the last fight, so he's gone for a very long time. And they still want to fight here. Doom up in 6 seconds.
If they can get it. Hoof Stomp. No, he doesn't connect. Zephyr. A rare miss.
He's just barely out of range, but at least he forces the BKB out of the Beast as well. So still, I think both teams are okay with that trade overall, but T1's probably a little bit happier because they take over the map during this time that the Void Spirit is dead. Karl's still down for another minute. So maybe we're going to see Tundra look for a fight before Karl respawns.
Could be the way to go for them. You're getting close to Phoenix having Shard. But at least for now, the window for Tundra is definitely there.
Watch the TP on the dragon here.
Okay.
If they're going to look to do something. Oh, he's looking at it. Okay, he's TPing, but they saw it.
Yeah,
the one creep survived.
Do it.
I saw them prepping, you know, and they do go for the smoke. So Karl's still dead. Like we said, they're going to look to abuse this death timer.
This is right as Medusa finishes the Scotty as well. And has Paladin Sword swapped into the inventory. I mean, I kind of feel like this is a window when Skitter does feel incredibly strong. But do you still think it's the type of dynamic where T1's like lineup is really hard to fight into?
It all depends on who gets the jump here and who gets to target who. So we're gonna see this level 17 finish, but there's a fight here.
They're all under Hawk. Jumps in though, gets it off. Doom, silence. No, do they have enough to bring him down? Pops the BKB, now gonna run in, turn to stone, and immediately gets destroyed. Rupture onto Dusa, trying to burst the Phoenix and then to get him. Doesn't have buyback. Whitemon pops ulti. There's not nearly enough there. They already bought back on Zephyr, but now they're going to lose Karl too. That's 2 heroes dead without buyback, and T1. Oh, did they just throw it all away?
Oh man, he gets the Doom off, but then, you know, Duza gets the Stone Gaze at the same time, so fast reactions. Actually, they're still going to jump on Zephyr here. He did buyback.
Cannot afford to go down here. They cannot afford to lose these heroes, but likewise, if 9 goes down, the dive bomb again, keeping him stuck, and Zephyr, he's in trouble. He's going to die. Dieback for him. None of these heroes have buyback. And Tundra, I mean, are they just going to go for it? 9 goes down. The dive bomb again, keeping him stuck.
Just like that, the game is just completely, it looks pretty rough. I mean, actually, okay, they can only go for tier 4s after this, so it might not be over. But with a Beastmaster, they might just go for the Thorn, and I think they have
they're
time.
Calling it. They know. They got ideas. The buyback comes from the CM, but they're not scared of her. You can see the buyback status. They know that at least 3 of these heroes don't have buyback. Oh, devastating. Cuckoo, he's going to do what he can, try and save and salvage this game. Doing a ton of damage onto 9, but it's Skitter is the one they have to really deal with. Supernova out, but it's going to be dead. Attack speed slow will not be enough to stop it. They go all in for the tier 4 towers in Tundra. They are going to take this 2-0. Unreal. What a freaking way to end it.
What a turn of events. But wait,
One last chance to dance. Can they stop it? The CM ulti, it's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And with Karl, the only one left alive, it is going to be a 2-0 Tundra. Very impressed.
Yeah, what a fantastic comeback from Tundra, because this is one of the only games I've seen them kind of struggle, not be able to take fights. But thanks to that, I mean, I do think 33 was the standout performance for me this game. He was able to get that one fight in the mid lane with, you know, a great item build, getting this dive bomb, catching the heroes that they needed, taking the Roche, and then just a fantastic job by him throughout this entire game.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see who we get for the interview. Do you have somebody that you'd really like to listen to?
I'm curious about, you know, 33's item build, but of course I'd be happy with anyone from Tundra. So anyone is good.
Snake King's always funny.
Snake King's good too. But yeah, really well played by Tundra. I definitely thought this game was going T1's way, and I think they had the momentum. Gabby kind of had a quiet game, both series or both of the games. It's again this Bloodseeker hero. When you don't get a decent lane, he looks very useless.
No, it's true.
Let's go back for a better word.
No. Well, in particular, like, sometimes you can get a lot of value out of the Rupture if you're playing against a Pango or something like that, but
man fight, but he can't do it. He will go down into the lasso. They go. There's Crit trying to help Whisper. He does get himself out. K1 will rush back in. Nightfall. He's still in trouble. He'll go for a run. Curse Crown is there, but the Blood Right gonna hold him down. Nightfall. He's in trouble and does end up dropping as now Jerax tried to move in to secure a kill, but he gets nothing. He's just gonna run, and that's exactly what he does. But Beast Coast play that top team fight perfectly.
And they find the good angle in, they get the punishment off onto Arteezy, who's trying to push basically solo. He doesn't have level 6, doesn't have the Phantasm to play with, doesn't get lucky with the Chaos Strikes as well, so not much lifesteal in the middle of that engagement. And they saved their top tier 1. Not too much damage done to it. There was an opening for a shove in mid, but didn't really manage to commit there. But they are buying space out for Lina now instead. It does feel like we're seeing this again, as we saw in Game 1. They're much more willing to have RTZ play the front line now, and just have Abed kind of build up. Arlena still waiting for the BKB, as Rob T-Gov pointed out. Want to just get that quick build up. Do have the setup here.
Yeah, it's very easy with the disruption. Chris Luck, he's just going to get bursted down. Jerax, that's a great setup with the disruption, and Abed, he says thank you very much. Easiest kill of my life.
Yeah, just rushing towards that BKB. They've got that opportunity to push Arteezy.
Oh, he's getting involved again, Arteezy. You love to see it. Very early game rotations out onto Stinger now. They have the perch from Jerax. They'll lock him down. EG getting very aggressive, not playing the farming game. They want that mid-tier 1 tower, and that's exactly what they're going to get.
Yeah, it feels like for Beast Coast, they're starting to stream in one by one. They're not working together as a coordinated team. They've got to play with the pick-off potential they have, time themselves around Lasso, try to get the kisses up on their Snapfire. Stinger's still a ways off, does eat the book. Still lacking some EXP though. Looking like about 80 EXP left for you to have that tool.
Nightfall. Find Gojira. Arteezy will go for a kill attempt. Snowball will be there. Arteezy, he'll wait around for it. Nice shards out. Gojira, he's not going to block Arteezy away. He'll try to juke them out on the tree line and see if that's going to work out for him, but I don't think so. Nightfall, he'll spear him up. Does secure the kill for himself. Beast Coast, well, they'll go for a smoke on their own accord now. Whisper and Stinger going to make their way down towards the bottom side of the map, but you've got Abed and Jerax also smoking up, looking for somebody on the side of Beast Coast. In fact, they'll head down right towards K1, who doesn't know they're coming. K1, he's going to back off right now. Jerax going to get within range for the disruption. Abed, he'll have the perfect follow-up surely. K1, can he survive? Not quite, Abed. He'll get the Laguna Blade out. This Bloodseeker, pos 1, it's a very rough affair if you've got to play from behind.
It certainly is, Mike. The Maelstrom not quite done. At this point, it does look like our Bloodseeker and our TA is going to be sharing farm, so Chris Luck and K1's going to have to share that jungle together. Whether or not they even get that early access to jungle, considering the vision game out from each
Whisper. Mortimer's Kiss is out. They want Abed. Laguna Blade is there. Kiss is still going. Abed should drop. Chris Luck, he'll secure the kill with the Meltrack and finds another. Double kill out for the TA. Great rotations here from Beast Coast. They'll return the favor immediately against Evil Geniuses.
And that's what we need to see from Beast Coast. Play with the ults. play with the kisses, play with the lasso, start getting those ganks going, and tempo yourself around those cooldowns. You can start buying the space out necessary for your TA. You can start building into that point where Crystallock starts to become the big win condition for the side of East Coast. You are getting some farm out on RTZ. I suppose this is a modest sacrifice to make. You still need the armlet up on the CK. He has been way more active, as you've pointed out, Mike. But once you do hit that point with the CK with the items up, I think you're kind of happy with RTZ again, just being forward.
Gojira once again in trouble top lane. The exact same position. They'll lock him down with the brambles out. Gojira surely has no way out of this, and he won't. They just want to give the kill to RTZ. They'll be very patient here. They do get away with it.
Yeah, nice little pickup there for RTZ again, just building into the armlet. Beast Coast not in position to defend. They're just trying to play bot, clearing out the jungle while they can, taking that tier 1, opening up the opportunity to farm. They do have that early blink up on Crystallock, so RTA can join in. It does feel a bit dicey without the BKB, but if you see that opportunity, the TA can start to present itself in these fights, follow through from the lasso, help around with kisses. But every single time the game pace slows down, even if you're finding that farm on Beast Coast, you look at EG. Abed still farming, BKB coming out in one part, Travels right after, RTZ again, armlet almost done. And it's at that point where the early spikes for EG also start to line up. It does feel like Beast Coast needed to hit those timings a little bit earlier, but considering lanes, it's just tough to see that happening.
It certainly is, John. Well, at the very least, Crystallock is still having a very good time on this TA, and so is K1 on the Bloodseeker, able to keep that farm going. See how they do scale into the mid-game. Because the Bloodseeker and TA both very good in the mid-game timing. Armlet, though, is going to be now available for RTZ. Again, he has been playing a much more aggressive style of play here, not opting to farm as much as he usually does, and rather gets involved with his team. So the armlet does come out a little bit slower than you'd expect. We'll see if it does pay off for him. As EG, they are going to take a bit of downtime now, a bit of time to just hit some creeps. Of course, Beast Coast, they'll do the exact same thing. Just very confident with their duo of Bloodseeker and TA. It's Crystallock, got to be careful for that haste rune. He'll make the jump in. Crit, not ready with the brambles.
Does manage to bail out in the nick of time. A bit of an invasion out from EG, trying to reclaim the top jungle. They have lost their wards. Good sentries this time coming out from Beast Coast to spot Jerax.
Oh, nice shards. Jerax, he is going to be okay. Nightfall, he's the one in trouble. Spear back onto the Bat Rider. Nightfall, he's surviving, but the snowball is there. Gojira, able to take him down. RTZ, he doesn't want this fight. Beast Coast, they're the ones who want to keep going as Crystallock. He'll make the jump in. Jerax targeted, but no crit. Is there with the Bedlam. Crystallock. Oh, he's gone too far. RTZ, he's going to keep trying. K1 will chase him down. It's a man fight between RTZ and the Bloodseeker, but K1, he'll get away with it as now Abed, he's in big trouble. Gojira with the snowball out. Great shots to lock him in. Abed, he's going to fight back from the low ground. He'll try, but he's got to back off now. He can't do it. Gojira, he'll just keep chasing his K1. He wants the blood. Abed, he's bleeding as he runs away, but is going to be fine. Instead, East Coast will get away with a successful team fight, and it's right back to the jungle for them.
They get the kills they need. They do lose their TA. Very early jump in from Crystallock. Again, no protection for BKB. Makes engaging as the TA very tough, but they built off the back of it. They didn't even have to expend the lasso here on Whisper. They have that option for the next fight if they want to take it. And the side of EG now is being punished for maybe overextending, but they will go for the smoke play though.
Oh, Whisper, he's got the lasso, he's got the tumblers, he'll find Nightfall on that Mars into the cookie setup. There's no TPs coming in to help him out. Nightfall, he's going to try with the spear, but it's not going to be it. Instead, EG, they've smoked up, trying to find a bit of a revenge kill here onto the Bat Rider. Can they cut him off? Stinger, he'll be the one to break the smoke. Whisper has all the information now to back off, but Jerax, he'll go for a chase as Stinger is already going to go down. Whisper, can he juke them out? Jerax will have a look around. Brambles off the mark, the tumblers able to get him over the tree line, and Whisper is going to be just fine. In fact, never mind that though, Gojira, he'll be the one to get caught out on the tusk.
It's better him than Whisper. Gojira willing to sacrifice his life just to enable his Bat Rider to get away. Two nice support kills coming out from EG, sacrificing the Mars. Doesn't feel great. Nightfall's still eventually going to find that blink. It is 50 gold away, and they can start playing around with that initiation on EG's end once that's up. Still the fresh BKB up on Abed as well. 9-second charge ready to go. And look at EG's movement. They are immediately focusing on pressuring the tier 2 top. They could line up for the Roshan if they find this objective into the outpost. And they're cutting off any sort of smoke gank that can happen through holding the top, bottom part of that jungle, just to ensure Beast Coast can't go for a defense.
Look how well they're farming right now, Beast Coast. Like this Bloodseeker, BKB up, Maelstrom up, going for Lincoln's next. It's going to get rather scary, John. In about 5 minutes, this Bloodseeker is going to be a real terror for the side of EG. Do you think they can handle this timing from Beast Coast?
It's tough. I think for EG to hold on to that, they've got to be the aggressors. They have to be able to get initiation before the BKB pops. That's a lot of pressure onto Nightfall with his blink. Does have that blink up, though. So if he can get that instant Spear Arena combination onto, say, the Bloodseeker or TA before the spell immunity's up, then that fight becomes a little bit easier to manage. Beast Coast, same thing. They've got to take initiative. They need to play with the Kisses Lasso. They need to get that blink up on Chris Luck along with his BKB, which is flying out, and they've smoked around his timing here.
But they have into the mid lane. BC will move in. Chris Luck on the front lines. Smoke broken by Gojira. Crit does break the smoke here onto Beast Coast. He does get slowed up. He's still fine. Big Arena. Nightfall in the backside. He's got the Bat Rider. Whisper's gone already. Gojira, he'll be the next one of the chopping blockers. They should be able to take him down surely on this task. And eventually, well, he's trying to juke them out. In the meantime, Nightfall. What a spear out. Real blind there from Chris Luck. Trying to TP in the tree line, but it was not enough. Nightfall with the Spidey senses is going to find him, and now they've got the stuns out. They've got the control. Another spear down to the low ground, and Chris Luck, he's down.
Yeah, that's a bit of a toughie. They did try to force aggression out with those item timings, which is what Beast Coast needed to do. You know, they just pick up these BKBs. They want to find the angles. They don't find the good angle they want. They already had this forward ward on the high ground. Their smoke breaks, and they don't manage to gap close and catch any heroes. The supports were also there to immediately break that smoke. They just didn't find the right opportunity to use any of these big pickups. Losing those big heroes, and they still have the net worth lead. It just feels like every single win that EG finds, it just delays the game further and further for Beast Coast.
And they're going to find another Stinger. Going to drop as Jerax sets up another kill on the Shadow Demon. They might just go right after Roshan now. I mean, I don't know if they've quite have the damage here on EG to get it done. It'll definitely be a slow process. In fact, never mind, they won't. They'll ignore it for now. I suppose as long as Beast Coast aren't the ones taking it, EG are happy, because you are against the TA Bloodseeker. They are naturally going to be the ones that want to move in and take that Roshan first.
Yeah, they're not in position to do so. They've been losing these engagements. Their top jungle's completely warded up by EG. Their warding game in this past series has been great. They had a lot of offensive wards in Game 1. Same thing here in Game 2. Top jungle under their complete control. Laning ward by the Tier 2 as well. So they spot all the movements out from Beast Coast whenever they want to get something done. And they just managed to avoid these big engagements. They drop a couple of heroes here and there. You're still keeping up in farm somewhat with Ovid and Arteezy.
Rupture's there. Nightfall, he's been caught out. K1, he'll move in with the BKB. Nightfall, he just has to stand there and take it. And that he will. K1, able to take the kills. They might look for a bit more now. Stinger having a chase around with the Force Staff. He's going to go after Jerax's Gojira. Does land the snowball, and that should be a second. Jerax does drop. Beast Coast, they might be able to rush for Roshan if they want. Chris Luck's already there, and that they will.
Yep, they've got the damage to deal with it, even without the full Deso up in the TA. Minus armor still racking up.
Terrorize. It's going to land on one. In fact, it was two. The Bloodseeker going to have to go for a run as well as Chris Luck. He'll go finish it off. There's no play here for EG. They have no one who can blink in and try to snatch it away instead. Down to the bot lane. Arteezy, he'll set up onto Whisper, but look how fast this Bat Rider is. He's not going anywhere. In fact, he's going right back in onto Arteezy. Laguna's there from Arbet. Arteezy, he'll Phantasm. Armlet Toggle, try to survive, but Chris Luck, he's got the damage. He'll take him out.
It's a lot of skirmishes across the map. Really great movement out from Chris Luck to back them up. And Whisper seeing that opportunity. Already having the drum boots up, the little boots of bearing, having all that move speed, having the charges every single time come up when it's ready. And they've got that timing now on Beast Coast, despite a little bit of a back and forth in the first 15 minutes. You know, it did look like EG was finally rushing their way. In the end, their draft is a little bit greedier. You have a CK, you have a Lean, and both of these heroes do need farm beyond just the early BKBs. And see that last sort of engagements there as well.
Oh. You see the replay there as Crit is taking out the Tusk by himself. Zarbed was just trying to focus down K1, but he BKBs and TPs out of there back towards the fountain. Meanwhile, towards the left side, they've got the Snapfire. Another nice support kill set up by Nightfall. Stinger, he'll try for the 4-staff away, but it's not going to work out for him in EG. They're going to keep trying to pressure these structures. The top tier 2 tower now, but Beast Coast, they'll do the exact same thing on the opposite side of the map.
And they're managing to take that tier 2 bot just with Chris Luck alone. So they are making great use of the Aegis, just avoiding some of these fights, getting some objectives their way. They're going to have that outpost on bot now, so they're going to have a very safe spot to farm. EG doesn't have anything defensive to watch over this area. And Beast Coast has already surrendered their top jungle anyway. They know it's warded up. They know that's where EG tends to run around. They just avoid, keep that farm game up. The build-up is looking good here for Beast Coast. Like, we're going into the Mjolnir next. You've already got the Lincolns up for K1. So your Bloodseeker is very well protected in the middle of these fights. It's harder to focus in with a lot of your single target control. On the side of EG, you might be able to waste the charge of Demonic Purge if Jarex isn't careful there as well. So you have a really good timing here on Beast Coast, along with his fresh BKB up for Whisper as well. Like, he's done so much good work on the Batrider. Maybe had a bit of a slower lane than you'd want to, taking a lot of resources, requiring that tri-lane. But Boots of Bearing, BKB up, Blink next. Like, you are set to go on Beast Coast to just rinse and repeat that aggression and start to build up.
On the other end of things, you do have the BKB now available on Arteezy, so he might want to try and use that to force a fight here. Perhaps a little bit too early, though. Beast Coast, they're the ones trying to get aggressive once again. Into that Radiant Triangle they go. Whisper setting up along with the Snap. They've held down Crit, and eventually Crit will just drop. As Chris Luck able to take another kill on the TA, and they're right into that mid-tier 2 tower. They've got the Aegis up. There's just nothing to be afraid about here for Beast Coast. They should be able to get a very important tower here in the mid lane.
Yep, not much stopping from the side of EG. They're just focusing on trying to shove top.
That was a deny from Jerax, using the old illusions.
Sneaky. Did you manage to keep that shove in top as well? So Nightfall just ensuring that the top is going to be under pressure, maybe forcing a response out. Is forced to TP home. They've got the arena ready. High ground hold from EG is not the worst thing in the world, so they could try to force something out here.
They could try. It's still a very rough affair as Nightfall is not going to land the spear. Nice blink away from Chris Luck. That's going to be about enough here for Beast Coast. They'll back their way out. There's just no stress for this side right now. No need to rush. 9k advantage. You don't want to throw that away against EG. They'll back off. EG, now the pressure builds up. You lose this game, there's no tiebreakers. You are going to the airport. A lot of pressure here for EG to try and make a comeback.
And if they've got to find a way with Nightfall.
Yeah, bot side, Nightfall, nice setup with the arena. They'll find Stinger again. K1 and Whisper, they still want to fight. Nightfall running with the Rupture is going to get disrupted up. K1 moving in. Oh, the shard's out, going to block the way. Now the lasso, Nightfall, Jerax, they're both already gone. Chris Luck, he can have their way with them. EG are falling apart here down at the bot lane. Arteezy, he's going to try and fight back. He's got Whisper down. He'll keep going, but K1's got him. In fact, Whisper, or Chris Luck, he'll go after Abed for the final piece of the puzzle. Abed's going to get away, but they are onto the mid-racks once again here for Beast Coast.
And Beast Coast just really working the angles well. They see the commitment from the arena just to find the support, not the big kill that EG needs. And they know you suddenly miss out on a lot of that AoE control. Go in for the racks right after. Clearing them out doesn't take too long with the TA with a full Deso up. And that's going to be 2 set of racks. They're protected from mega creeps with a tier 1 top. But EG now are in a very tough position. They need this win, Mike, to force tiebreakers. And of course, Beast Coast wouldn't want to play them. Wouldn't want to play those tiebreakers. So they're looking hard for that win. They've come back reinvigorated for this game too.
And you saw the happy faces there on Beast Coast, looking very, very confident now with the 12k net worth advantage. 1 racks up. It's a hard game to throw here for Beast Coast, that's for sure. EG, tell me, John, what do they do now? How do you come back in this game number 2?
This is the point where you try to stall this game out. Try to build up on your Lina, try to get some more farm on your CK, hit those level spikes, hit those talent spikes that make them really, really strong as well. And just hold on to the high ground. You still have really good team fight with the arena and the follow through with the Dark Willow. The combination is still really good. You've got great single target hold. You've got a great Dispel in the Demonic Purge. But I think you have to really be cautious as to when you use that arena on Nightfall. If he only catches the supports, Beast Coast will always know it's an opportunity for them to start fighting back.
Well, immediately they want to go after Nightfall, but he is going to TP out. not risking it against that Batrider. It's going to be just fine. They really cannot afford to drop any bodies right now on the side of EG. Beast Coast, though, again, more than happy to keep going after towers at the moment. It's EG. They'll group up. They've got to stay as a unit, but they don't have the net worth to really fight back. They've got to find single pickoffs, and Beast Coast, they are not giving those openings. They are staying as 5, and that's the way to do it when you've got a net worth lead like this. You just never need to split up and give that opening.
Yeah, you can just keep going, keep running them down. You know you've got the items in every core. Your ults are all up. There's no need to really split push and kind of get the map efficiency up. You just kind of shut out EG. Don't give them openings, as you said, and try to close the game out. You don't have Aegis. You might want to wait for next rush. There is that DD up on Chrislock, though. So RTA hits like a truck if they want to just commit here, and it's not going to take too long to rip through objectives and heroes if they do find them.
It'll be the last team fight if EG aren't too careful up this top lane. Not many buybacks available right now. Only Crit and Arbed as Nightfall is going to jump in, but the Rupture again going to lock him down through the BKB. He'll put the shield up, try to survive in the arena, but they are chasing him down. Nightfall, he has no choice but to die. No buyback available on the Mars. And Beast Coast, they've got 50 seconds with a 4v5 situation here to go high ground. We'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah, they popped the DD. Tier 2 tower falls. Nightfall was trying to go in for a spear. He missed, and yeah, I mean, he's taking these risky plays, Mike. You know, he's trying to break open an opportunity for EG. But again, when it doesn't work out, Beast Coast are always ready to punish. Like, we've seen it multiple times. You jump Schofield, you try to take Stinger on the snap and just burst down the support with Arena. Your TA, your Batrider has free reign. You've got the Snowball save out as well, and aggression coming through here from Gojira. It's tough. EG, it feels like they're so reliant on Nightfall to find those openings, and every time it falls flat, the follow-through, there's not much that can be done.
Evil Geniuses, here we go. 4-man smoke up. They are split up this time around, so Beast Coast, they might give away a kill or two if they're not too careful. They've got to play defensive now. Stinger, he might be the one to break the smoke, and EG, they're desperate for anything. They might just take the Snapfire. Gojira, he might run into them, but no, he's in position to break the smoke. In fact, now a counter smoke out. Beast Coast gonna run right into Jerax. Shards around, Rupture's there. Jerax almost blown up. A disruption is gonna save. Instead, they want Arteezy. He'll take down the Tusk immediately, but Arteezy, he has to fight K1. It's not a great fight for him. He's already gone. In we go with Nightfall, trying to salvage the situation, but it's not gonna work out as Chris Luck in the backside. He's got Arbed. This isn't looking good for EG. They've got no buybacks available. Onto the Mars they go. They might just have to call it.
It's looking tough for the high ground defense, Mike. Really big fight once more for Beast Coast. EG trying to force these angles, trying to look for those openings. Can't find them. Beast Coast playing a lot cleaner compared to game one, sticking together as that unit. The response is always there when someone shows up from EG. And now they've got that opportunity to gun for the last two set of racks. Top being melted through by K1. Whisper just shoving in the bot, and sure they've got the angle. Chrislock, he doesn't care. You know, he knows these cores aren't going to be up anytime soon. Go for the safe play. Roshan going to be up in half a minute. If they don't go for the end game here, they could just go for Aegis first and come back.
So much damage available on Chrislock. Rax just is not going to last at all. Like you said, John, you've got the safer play in the Roshan in 15 seconds. EG, they'll be left with one lane of barracks. They are not out of this game yet. They're not out of the major yet, but they're 25k behind. And well, with this next Roshan to go the way of Beast Coast, it's hard to see them losing that next team fight. EG, they're going to smoke up. I don't think they can allow the next Roshan to go the way of Beast Coast. They've got to try and force this fight. You're almost making it impossible if you don't get this Aegis.
Yeah, they need it so badly, and they know how fast Beast Coast can take it. So they're going to need to force that fight out, try to catch a big hero. They need to catch someone with the Arena Spear. It's been tough for Nightfall, but if he finds that opening...
Well, there it is. Oh, quick snowball out. Gojira gonna force the waste of the arena as now Nightfall's in big trouble. He'll BKB up. They do at least find the Tusk in the end, but it's not looking good for him. Chris Luck takes down the Mars. Crit's gone. Arteezy's gone. EG, they might just be gone. Arbet's called it. They are out of the major, and Beast Coast, they will proceed without having to go through tiebreakers.
Oh man, I mean, what a game coming out from Beast Coast. Game one, you look at that team, you look at what happened, you look at the draft, you look at those small mistakes. The nerves were there for sure. If they come out of that game one, they understand, look, we're not out of it yet. We still have one more game. EG is the one who has to play. We shouldn't be scared. We still have our slot secured, even if we just find one win here. And they reset really well. They bounce back in really great form. They go for still a fast-paced draft, right? Bloodseeker TA with some scaling, but you really want to hit that mid-game timing. They managed to hit it much better here. And EG, I mean, they don't have Storm. They give Abed the Lina. He does take some early activity up.
Yeah.
Arteezy was showing up early as well, just not to the same success they saw in game one, right? The targets weren't squishy enough for the CK to instantly melt down, and Nightfall wasn't connecting on the heroes he needed to. Right? He'd come in arena, the reflexes from Beast Coast were very quick, and the opportunities to get the punishment off just didn't show up.
Certainly didn't. It's been a very, very tough affair here for Evil Geniuses during this major, Jonathan. They are going to have to head off home now, sadly. There's going to be no tiebreakers, which is something you and I did want to see, but what can you do? No tiebreakers here for at least Group A, and yeah, tough affair. What can you do? EG, they're out of it.
Yeah, it's tough, but there's always going to be one team that's going to go home, and at the very least, no tiebreakers for the bottom spot. I think there might be potentially upper bracket ties, but I think we're already finding out, so we'll see if any remain for Group A. Group B still pretty tight, and I guess there's still a lot more games left here.
I'll tell you what, John, we are going to head off back to the panel and see what they've got to say about this one.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. And indeed, Evil Geniuses eliminated, and Group A will have no tiebreakers whatsoever. Of course, what happens in Group B, and if there will be tiebreakers there, will be decided later on. But for now, we know what happens in Group A. Everything is set. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this second game of the series between EG and Beast Coast, all after this break.
I'm a icy boy.
dusted while I say that there's still a game going on right now, but for standings, it has no implications. The series we just witnessed is EG versus Beast Coast. The series was a tie, which, in itself is not that bad. Unfortunately, it did mean that Evil Geniuses, who could not afford another loss, is eliminated as the first team out of Group A. Beast Coast, they fight to live to fight another day. They'll be going to the lower bracket, of course, tomorrow in the playoffs. I'm joined by Lacoste and T-Gov, and this game was filled with skirmishes and Bloodseeker, Batrider, skirmishy heroes, right, T?
Yeah, I was a big fan of how Whisper was able to kind of use the offlane Batrider. Of course, in lane, very aggressive. You were into an SD supporting a CK, so maybe allow Batrider a comfortable time, but the fact he went for, a null, a bracer, then into a drum, and then he goes boots of bearing, joining his team super often, not really trying to be greedy. I was pretty excited to see this type of gameplay, and this is classic Beast Coast. Like, you break down lanes and you just go the entire time.
Yeah, gotta agree. I mean, Beast Coast, they did explode, like both supports took care of the cores pretty much in this game. Double 4-staff plus a snowball save was more than enough to say no to whatever EG attempt was.
Indeed, and of course, happy times for Beast Coast, but Evil Geniuses, not so much happy times there, as this is the last time we'll see them. And right now, Jerex is standing by with Tsunami. That sounded like happy times.
Yeah, we're standing by. We're meditating right now. Jerex, tough break on the tournament. It's a heartbreaker, but at least you got some international practice. What are your thoughts after that loss versus Beast Coast, I guess, about the whole tournament?
Well, there's a lot of thoughts and feelings I have. Beast Coast, as a team, we have been practicing them quite a bit, and obviously always I would say it's a different feeling when we get to play officials and to the scrims, and it was just I really enjoyed the games. Today it was definitely enjoyable. I think the past few days hasn't been that easy for us, and for obvious reasons, but yeah, today was still a great day, though like stuff happened.
How do you feel about So you got back into the DPC grind, you got back into the league grind of 6 weeks, play a game. How does it feel coming back to a group stage? Because I know it's been a while since you've had a group stage.
Well, I had it very exciting. Definitely looked forward to this tournament. The NA region seems to be kind of on its own, having their own ideas there. I feel like the fact that we get to go on like international stages and playing with the other regions is definitely refreshing, and I think the NA meta kind of got boring, so I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to get to play these games. And, yeah.
I know at the beginning of tour number 1 there was the expectation that this was going to be a process for you guys. Obviously, you coming back from retirement, learning a new role, learning how to deal with new players. Yeah. Is this Major also part of that growing process? Because Major 1 didn't happen, and now Major 2, sure, obviously not the result that you wanted, but this is a long-term project for you guys.
Yeah, we approached this tournament as part of the journey looking forward to TI. And we had a very difficult times even before the DPC. Not just gameplay, but a lot of, how would I say, migrating to our country seemed to be a very difficult task because we have a very international roster and there's some political stuff getting in the way as well. And I think what hurts me the most about this season is like some of the times, some of the players haven't had rest really. Like they couldn't come to their home countries during the times that we are supposed to have the breaks. And we were boot camping for seven weeks in total, and yeah, it's just heartbreaking for me that we had these conditions, but we did our best, I think, coming here. But sadly, it's a very disappointing result, and of course we expected better, but that's what it is.
Now that, I guess, you should be free to comment on the other teams since there are no more teams for you to be worried about. Which one was the hardest for you to deal with? Which one took you by surprise?
Thinking.
Yeah, because I know for this one, you said the games are fun. You played Beast Coast. You're familiar with them, but a lot of these other regions, a lot of these other teams, you may not be so knowledgeable on, maybe.
Yeah, I really would like to pick one. I feel like the games are so different against each team, and I just like T1, for example. I feel like I was just very curious how they played Dota, watching those games like afterwards and playing. Like I got the feeling that they had discovered something for themselves, and the OG plays completely different. And even though the drafts are somewhat similar, then the actual gameplay, how people move on the map and which areas they hold and all that stuff, I'm just very. It strikes my curiosity, and I'm just here to learn. And I feel like I got a very good amount of experience, at least for myself.
Yeah, I've always seen you as more of a student of the game and someone who just enjoys the intricacies. And so I know probably not something that's urgently on your mind, but any chance that you might be sitting in the crowd for the rest of the event in Sweden?
I actually haven't planned ahead a lot. I definitely didn't plan this one. And yeah, we'll see. I would like to watch games. But then I'm thinking, looking more towards the future, what I need to do, and what we need to do as a team right now. I'll see what I do, but I'll definitely watch them. If not here, then somewhere else.
For sure. Ever the competitor, Jerax, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me. And unfortunate about the result, but everyone's very happy to see you on an international stage regardless. And we'll send it back to you, Shiver.
Thank you very much, Jerax and Tsunami. And indeed, I mean, it's bittersweet. Of course, you see Jerax smile. You know, he still has some good spirits left there. But his adventure at this major ends with T. You said yesterday, I think, that for this EG roster to work out, the fans, they should really focus on the next major. In terms of start season 1 to TI, in terms of curve that you expect them to have with the lessons learned, next majors where they should show up most.
I feel like, again, that sounds like the cheap answer now. Obviously, they're out.
I mean, that was yesterday before they were out.
And now I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. But no, for sure, it is very much for this team, because during Tour 1, in the interviews, you know the complications. They weren't on boot camp like other teams, for example. Of course, the NA region, not a lot of teams actually get to boot camp, so it's kind of putting them ahead. But no, very much. This is a roster that, even though they're eliminated, I'd like to think that they'd use this time in an international space to get back to scrimming in a couple of days' time. Use the time that they have in Sweden to make sure when they go back to the region, they dominate, get back to number 1, and then the third major, they can kind of go, guys, we might have not been so great at Stockholm, but now when we're back in, the Texas major, that's where we go yeehaw and win it or something, in front of the home crowd. But
for EG, I mean, the eyes are on the international. You need points for that. EG already has 650 points, and they'll probably get a couple more out of the region. So the road to TI, Lacoste, is still just right there.
It is. It definitely looks like, they're going to make it. They're going to be at TI. Competition in NA is not as strong as in other regions, EU, Southeast Asia. It looks much more packed, but I'm not too worried about EG because we did a lot of interviews. We did cover the NA DPC, and every single time we talk to them, they're like, yeah, it's a learning process, it's a journey, and they always off to a slow start. Whether we're talking about the DPC tour, whether we're talking about the international tournaments, but they had some struggles with the stand-ins. It's very hard to adjust. Like this is the roster that they wanted to play with, and we got that in the second part of the DPC. Finally see them at LAN, but there's some stuff to work on. But still, the team, I think, for the third major, they're gonna be okay.
They're going to be okay. Well, EG, of course, not okay right now. They're eliminated. Let's take a look at the standings for Group A, because they are actually completely fleshed out right now, as Bedboom versus OG has finished as well, even though the score is not updated here yet, but OG 2-0'd them, so they'll be 7-5, while Bedboom is also 7-5, so they'll be tied with the head-to-head. I think to OG. I don't think it matters for seeding a little bit, but both teams, of course, make it to the upper bracket of the playoffs. I also still do want to mention, I mean, we obviously talk a lot about EG being eliminated, but I also want to give credit to Beast Coast, because after game 1, we saw them being down, emotionally also down. A couple mistakes. They can hit hard, but they bounced right back, T.
Yeah, no, it was incredible that they can, especially I think, emphasis on K1, because the reaction mid-game when he used the BKB or didn't use the BKB bottom, it was like, and then it's like the BKB after. Yeah, I think the fact he can turn it around, and then of course I think the rest of the guys you can see during the second draft, they were smiling, they're happy, they were clearly trying to pick him up, even though trying to force him to do much. But no, it was testament to Beast Coast, and
that's why it's called a team.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. No, it's been working out for Beast Coast indeed, taking this last game here of the group stage. We'll see them more in the playoffs. They will be playing in the lower bracket, so I believe they won't be playing tomorrow. They'll get a day's rest. We are going to move on, and that means it's time for Group B to make an appearance. There's still very much a chance for some tiebreakers in Group B, even though Group A, of course, indeed does not have any. But let's see what's going to happen there. We'll be right back with more information on Group B.
love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
avocado.
Wow. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I can do better than these guys. How come they get to be in the cool commercials? Well, do you really think you can do better? Because if so, go to esl.gg/BHL.
That's right, and if you win, hang out with us on the next video set.
Well, it depends on how well you do, though, because if you're really bad, you'll only get one line in the video like me.
Great. Sign up below.
Do you want to play like a pro and gain that sweet MMR? Watch the DHL Pro Tips to improve your gameplay. Then test your knowledge to win a €250 Steam gift card. Become a pro by visiting esl.gg/DHL Pro Tips.
In Dota 2, not every hero is created equal, and in a game that is largely centered around spell pressing, you would think that spells are where you would see the largest disparity between heroes. But heroes are much more than just their spells. Each hero in Dota has different base stats, and a different amount of stats that they gain per level. Terrorblade, for example, has 16 base strength, compared to Tiny's 30 base strength. Meaning that a level 1 Tiny has almost double the HP of a level 1 Terrorblade. Terrorblade, however, has 4.0 agility gain, compared to Tiny's absolutely atrocious 0. This means that a level 30 Tiny only has 2 armor, whereas a level 30 Terrorblade has 30. To put this into perspective, this is 3 plate mails worth of armor just for being Terrorblade. But that's not even the half of it. Agility also gives attack speed and damage. In reality, Terrorblade is getting 5 Eagle Songs worth of agility just for leveling up. 14,000 gold worth of value built into the hero's body, with nothing to do with the spells. This is precisely why a hero like Nature's Prophet can be played as a carry, despite having no carry-type damage steroid. It's simply because he has the highest total stat gain in the game. On top of that, Nature's Prophet's attack range is 600, which is very good compared to all of the other heroes in the game. For perspective, Techies has the highest attack range in the game, and it's 700. Having high attack range is strong because it means that you can take better trades in lane by right-clicking them before they right-click you, and outside of laning, you can stand in a safer position while farming or teamfighting. Probably the most obvious stat in the game that makes heroes either very good or very bad, especially in the early game, is move speed. Keeper of the Light, for example, has 330 base move speed, whereas Medusa has 275. This means, with a pair of boots, Medusa is still 10 slower than our boy Karl. Move speed is important for fairly obvious reasons. If some guy is faster than you, then he can just run away from you in teamfights, and all of your sick damage numbers and cool spells, they mean nothing.
I know you guys want to test your knowledge right now. Am I right or am I right? And better yet, I know you guys want to make $250 as a Steam gift card. And you can, potentially, depending on if you know the answer. Now, you might have heard this question before, but I'm going to ask you again. What hero has the highest base strength in the game? If you know the answer, you should go to esl.gg/DHL Pro Tips, fill in your answer, and have a chance to win $250. And these two are not going to help you. Am I right?
I have the answer
That is
right
correct.
here, but on the other side.
Oh, no.
What are you showing Slark?
If you actually put Slark, then please don't. That's the one hint we'll give you.
Okay,
Do not
that's
put
the
Slark.
hint.
The money.
Don't put Slark, please.
Yeah, make sure you go to the website and answer and get your money, potentially.
We wanted to make it easy for you guys. We asked the same question. We want you to win.
We do want you to win. Eventually, you'll get it right.
Yeah, you all got it wrong yesterday, actually. That's why we have to run the question again.
Yeah, we just got to run it back every day, until you guys get it right. Come on, fill in every strength hero, Is it going to be a strength hero? I don't even know. Highest base strength? Does it have to be? I don't even want to speculate because that might be giving out too much away. Now, let's move onward with the Dota of the day, or better yet, with the events of the day, because it's group stage. It's the final day of group stage, so it is high time to show you guys what it has been like for the players in the hotel. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to the ESL Stockholm Major. I'm Sir Action Slacks. We're going to give you a tour of the group stage hotel. There's a lot of fun stuff to see. We got to go up the stairs. Come on. This is the coaching viewing area where the coaches and managers watches their teams play. It's a very, very serious place where they're very, very focused. Is your team winning?
We play in 3 hours.
Great! Don't say things like that. Next up is League Ops. This is where they go and put everyone that's not good enough to do any other job to make sure people aren't cheating. Is anyone cheating in this game?
No.
Okay. This is the player area where the players play. They hate being distracted by anything. Real players will be using this microphone. Typically, you're not allowed in here, but I like to come in here and crop dust them. I think it's funny. This is an elevator. It's new technology that put player up and put player down, but not as much as you guys on the internet who constantly berate them. This is the players' lounge where the players get to sit and relax with Xboxes and TVs and arcade cabinets. And I didn't tell me this place existed. I've been sitting downstairs like a goddamn hobo for 3 days. I'm legitimately pissed off about this, but it's good for them, I guess. They've got hot dog weenies over there. No! Need to take a break from your Dota games? Well, don't worry. We have this thing. This is the practice room where all the teams practice. Look, this is Gaming Gladiators. They're practicing. Hello! Very excited to see me. Wonderful. This is the gigantic gym in the hotel. Obviously, no one's ever in here. Except for Fly. He never leaves. Hey, Fly! And that will do it for the tour. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a nice, famous Swedish sauna. Have fun watching the major. Wow! Yeah! It's f***ing hot in here. Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
I do want to say the player hotel is quite fantastic, and it does feel like a player hotel because the floors that the players are on, it's all very condensed. So once you're in the area, you are fully in Dota land, right, Lacoste?
Pretty much. You see people you want to see, you see people you don't want to see. You know, some people you have beef in the public game. Just kidding. You know, it's very good. It's your Dota family. Like we have our own working family, and we also have players that we play with, people we talk about. It's a good feeling, you know, having all these people in one place.
It's good vibes.
Just nice to have everyone.
I was like, oh no, what is he talking about?
Oh, please. Oh, God. No, but no, it's nice just to have everyone in the same spot again. You know, just, I think, even when we had, like, other events, you know, when you're watching the game, it's nice to hear, like, the screams of, like, the coaches or, like, the management of the teams as well and have the vibes. Just because when you're watching the team play, it's just kind of the people around you. But it's really nice to have people who are actually invested in those teams properly. And when you have that energy and passion, you kind of then come back onto a panel or something. You're like, oh, God, you know, the Gladiators guys, you know, they're like screaming or something. I don't know. It's just hype. I don't know. I just like having everyone back pretty much.
Yeah, I think most people do. I also think that the group stages were probably the Valhalla for having that type of vibe, because once the playoffs begin, it's getting a little bit more spicy. And today is the final day of the group stages. We are about to have the final series for Group B, potentially, because we might have tiebreakers depending on the results. We'll be right back to talk more about our upcoming matchup on this stream. It's Fnatic versus Gaming Gladiators.
a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I go like
just a few more games that need to be played in the group stages for the Stockholm Major. Or maybe we'll be burning the midnight oil depending on the results, because I don't think this has ever happened before, but there is a potential for a six-way tie in the Group B for the Major. I'm here with Lacoste and Tigov, and we're going to start off by looking at the rankings for Group B, because Lacoste, this is... I mean, even if it doesn't turn into a six-way tie, has a group ever been this even?
No, definitely not. It might have something to do with one team not winning a single game because they're not here. It's very difficult for that team. But yeah,
then they don't be 4-4.
Looking spicy.
Yeah.
I mean, this six-way tiebreaker. Like, where do you even start? All
right, you know where we start? We just by laying down the facts. You know, we have.
Give me the facts, D.
Fnatic playing GG, Thunder Awakens playing TSM, right? The teams that are currently 6-4, they're playing against each other. So it's literally if both of these series go 1-1, we get the six-way tiebreaker.
Everybody's 7-5.
Yeah, it's not like we're expecting the 7-5 team to beat the 6-4 team and then make a rift. It's literally the teams that are 6-4 are playing each other. We could have a six-way tiebreak. We could do the whole group again. It's a very DPC standard thing, because normally in the regional leagues, 6 weeks, we often do that at the end of tiebreaks anyway. But it'd be sick to see it at Major. Honestly, we've got plenty of time today. The cast is out there already. The players are probably pretty excited to do it. I'm sure you guys want to do it too.
I think they would be, yeah.
We just want 2 draws, all right, lads? 2 draws.
And you know what? If we focus our attention on the first game of Group B here, Fnatic versus Gaming Gladiators, Lacoste, a tie actually seems pretty likely.
Yeah, very reasonable to say that this might be a tie, because both of these teams, they look good. They had their ups and downs, I would say. Against certain teams, they just do perform better. And looking at how these two teams could match up against each other, because Gaming Gladiators, they haven't been playing LAN. This is their first LAN ever. Not for Ace, but for other players, yes. So, you know, they're doing much better, I would say. They're doing much better than I expected, because sometimes you get there, this is not your mouse sensitivity, you can't really play, cold hands, whatever, there's slacks interrupting you. Yeah, it's just kind of hard to focus, but so far so good. Fnatic, they have more LAN experience, and yeah, I feel like this could be 1-1.
Yeah, let's focus our attention a little bit more on Fnatic, because they do have a lot of LAN experience between them. I will also want to take this moment to shout out Jabs for being the first player ever in the history of Dota and Dota 2 to have played a major or an international as every single role. He's played position 1, 2, now 3 and 4 and 5, and I mean that's crazy, and he's doing it at such a high level too. T.
Yeah, as I said, that's the main thing, the consistency of performance in each role. When he has changed, it's like, you know, fair play, you know, he's done it pretty well. But even on the current roster, playing in the off lane, it's not like it's been a bit weird. It's been great to see. Honestly, when coming into this, I thought Fnatic would do a bit better. I kind of expected them maybe to be like the what Tundra's doing in Group A, maybe they could have done that in Group B. Unfortunately, have tied a couple more games, but no, overall, still incredibly solid performance, and just trying to find that rhythm to convert that second win to get away, escape from the draws. It's kind of been the story of the group stage so far.
They want to escape from the draws. They want to make it deep into the tournament because they want to face not just their opponents in Dota, but they want to face the crowd. They want to feel those vibrations. Let's hear it from DJ himself.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time since we had a LAN tournament for Dota 2, and it's been really exciting for me because I had a lot of experience where I play LAN and there's the crowd is just like so good, like especially here in Stockholm. The crowd here is really nice, and I'm really looking forward to playing in the playoffs with the crowd.
Yeah, we are all looking forward to having that crowd back in an arena. It has been far too long, and you gotta get there though. It's the final 3 days that get that experience, that get to play in front of a crowd, and of course Fnatic would love to be there. But it's a long route. Same thing can be said for Gaming Gladiators. They haven't ever performed on a LAN, let alone in front of a crowd. And to be honest, you kind of gotta experience that at least once before you, like, let's say they make it to TI. That shouldn't be your first time playing in front of a crowd, because that just gives extra pressure.
Yeah, I'd say it's extra pressure, but also I think you see the main man here, Celery. It's on him as well, because at the major, they don't have their coach with them in person. It's more of an online situation where they're going to, doing calls after the series and stuff. So Celery, even in the pre-major, he's stepping more into the kind of the drafting role, kind of taking more of the kind of post-game conversation leadership.
Yeah.
And to have to do that for a major, and one in which you are performing so well at that you potentially could be up a bracket even onto main stage, it's just the added layers of it is your first time at an international event and then all that. So I think mad respect that they've been able to perform so well when their support system isn't, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
I mean, they have this PMA mentality, having Celery, who reached 11k MMR with the position 5. He's stable. Like, it definitely takes a lot of effort to be able to do it from position 5. And Tofu, he's like a spiritual leader to me. Like, it's something about him.
Tofu, big fan.
Keanu Reeves, meet Steve Aoki, meet any kind of shampoo brand, really.
He's the next one. He's going to get hit up by some sponsors
after
this, for sure.
There must be. It's been smiles all around from Gaming Gladiators for sure. Also from Dairatcho, who we caught up with earlier today.
Me personally feeling super fine. I mean, I'm funny, I'm happy. We're gonna play versus Fnatic. I hope we're gonna beat them or just do our best. So I feel we are good. Yesterday rough games, but we talk a lot. So I hope gonna be better today. I think our chances is good. We have enough chance. We're not playing bad. We're playing good. I think we just need to think about all this stuff, about drafts, about game plan, follow our game style. Me personally, I'm not scared of anyone. I think we can beat everyone, we can lose everyone, so it doesn't matter.
But can they beat Fnatic? That's the question. Can they tie with Fnatic for our tiebreaker scenarios? That is our question. We're going to find out what's going to happen in this series. We are about ready to start drafting between Gaming Gladiators and Fnatic, so we'll see you after this. on Gaming Gladiators. Both teams having a great record, 6-4. It should be enough, you'd say, and it is enough to stay in the tournament. Everybody in Group E stays in the tournament, but is it enough to make it to the upper bracket? Everybody still has a chance to make it to that upper bracket. We're going to find out which one of these two teams will get themselves a better setup for that, and someone is about to hit the start game button, I believe. Tsunami, what are things, what is going on out there in the player hotel?
I don't know. What would you like to know?
Everything.
Everything. I was a little sad. You skipped me between the last segment. I thought that
hey,
you wouldn't
we were running out of time, you know?
We were running out of time, and then the group
Okay,
stage
you heard it here.
everything.
Tsunami is the one that normally delays the game.
That is
That's
actually
true.
really true, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the lobby king, actually. We got Gaming Gladiators over here. They are actually, I got some bad news for them. They're in EG's booth, so don't really know about that. So, that's all you need to know from me. What you need to know is what heroes are going to get picked. Let's get to the draft.
Well, let's go to the draft. Oh, look at that. We already got ourselves an opening. Gaming Gladiators will start on the Dire side with first pick, and therefore Fnatic will have second pick and, more importantly, overall last pick on the Radiant side. I'm here, of course, still with Lacoste and T-Gov. And an opening IO from Gaming Gladiators. T, this is a hero they are incredibly comfortable with.
Yeah, incredibly good at it as well. Of course, Celery, wanting to play it, enabling it, which is a little bit different because, of course, most teams, they put it on their 4-player and they go more aggressive with it, but Celery, being the 5, he's the one often picking it up. I think the main thing for me with Gladiators is just coming into this tournament, they've tried to do things that other teams haven't done yet. For example, they've had 2 Lycan games, unfortunately with not much success. They've had some Chen games, did combo that with a Lycan. Also, like Crystal Maze.
Yeah, I think they're going to stay away from it.
Yeah, they've been like, I'm just going to give them credit for trying to push some of their own identities into it. Again, varying success, but still, like, credit that they come in.
All right, this is the
tree?
hero. I mean,
Yeah.
if someone knows how to play, it's the Gaming Gladiators how to play this Train Protector, but so is Fnatic. So you need some kind of tower damage, Gaming Gladiator. I remember during the DPC, we had interview with Celery. I think he kept the tower alive for like, I think 10 or 15 minutes. They tried really hard. They brought 5 heroes to try to bring him down. They couldn't. So you definitely need some. CK is going to help with that, but I'd say a very different opener, like from Fnatic, especially this Templar Assassin first phase. It's very, because what people have been doing recently is trying to go for damage reduction, whether we're talking about Rubik's Fate Bolt, Breathe Fire, Shield Crash, Underlord Ulti, Wraith Pact, and now we have like Refraction plus the Living Armor, just making heroes almost unkillable.
I like as well, in regards to the Rise of Tree, I think we've seen it like 13 times so far at the Major, mainly from the C teams, but a sprinkle of Europe is trying out as well. But very much, to beat Tree, it's, I think, less about the lane that you're playing into, but more offsetting the other core matchups. If you're able to crush the other lanes, and then you overwhelm, bring in like 4 or 5 heroes to the lane that Tree's trying to protect, you can skip behind the tower, remove him from that defensive position, then kill it off through the living armor. So there are games where Tree can go 18-20 minutes keeping every tower alive, but that's the games where the Tree team's able to win or go even in every lane because the value of Tree goes up. So I'm looking at Gladiators at continuing to pick strong lanes to then be able to have that 10-minute catapult wave and break down the map correctly against the Train Protector.
Yeah, generally you'd expect Gaming Gladiators to be the one to know exactly what to do against the Train Protector, as they are one of the few teams to play quite a bit.
Exactly, and the power of the Tree lies in being able to hold, especially if you're playing from behind, just being able to delay the game, very elusive. Like you see Train Protector there using vines to try to stop the push. You waste your time, you kill him, but the carry is getting the farm and also just pumping out that living armor on the towers.
I'm just loving these bans from Fnatic. They're like, all right, let's not give Gladiators the easy way to hit our towers, boys, all right? Less Rack ban, DP ban. I also think potentially like a Pango ban could be pretty good, just because that Rolling Thunder, cutting into the trees, trying to find where Tree is pre-50 minute when he's of course invisible with the shard, but just that ability to take the earlier fights can offset it. Sure, Overgrowth does pretty well against the Pango, but yeah, I feel that is, they just want to be so aggressive. If it goes into like a stalemate, it's so hard. TA's just farming the triangle, Tree's defending the tower. No, I'm just a big fan of Tree. It's It's a real boring hero, but it's so good at the same time.
Also, one of the reasons that we didn't mention it is you can have 2 living armors coming into the fight on 2 different heroes. So extra armor, extra regeneration. It's very difficult to fight into it, and he needs 1 item. Like, this hero just needs 1 item to be able to play the game. That's the Blink Dagger, to be able to go in with the Overgrowth and counter-initiate.
5 seconds remaining.
And the final ban was a Beastmaster, so they do go 3 for 3 on the pushing heroes.
Oh, the old school combo.
Nice. Oh, it's been... Wait, have we seen...
The combination of Tree Phoenix?
Amanda Gander.
Coming up from Fnatic? I don't think so. No, I don't see any
Not
Phoenixes
from Fnatic. No,
being
this is their
picked.
first Phoenix game. You are correct.
I think this is the first Tree Phoenix game at the Major as well. With my quick glance down the notes, yeah, I think this is the first Tree Phoenix. And that's a classic because, of course, the Overgrowth covers the egg as well. Tree and Protector naturally with the Shard, going invisible, then getting a Blink Dagger. You're always able to kind of surprise and cover. So it's just, yeah, it's so defensive as well in regards to Gaming Gladiators. Like with an IO type lineup, they want to quickly run in and try and punish you. If you run up into like a Tri-Camp, the vision from the TA with the traps, it's so easy for Fnatic to get that the spells off.
They go with the more stuns, more initiation on their side to be able to go on a target, lock onto it, and then CK just destroys it. They needed something to be able to deal with the Phoenix Egg, because like CK Dragonite, these type of heroes, like, yeah, Io's going to provide you some attack speed, but having Snapfire on the team makes things a lot easier. And also to add up, it's just a hero that plays with the Dragonite. We see Dragonite always paired up with like Hoodwink, Skywrath Mage, and in this case, Snapfire.
Yeah, if I was Gladiators, I'd think of rounding out the draft with potentially like an Invoker mid, unless this is going to be some quirky Snap mid, but...
Yeah, because you want some like Spirit Vessel Carrier to be able to reduce the healing coming out from Phoenix and the Living Armor.
The Alacrity as well provides some extra fight. Could be an option for Gladiators, but yeah, right now, this Phoenix, of course, still very good, but the value has gone down a little bit because the little Shredder, like we just mentioned. And for Gladiators, I think my concern for them is simply the DK Blink Stun, there isn't that explosive damage. So when you see Phoenix under a ward, unless it's CK and DK both killing the hero, Mortimer Kisses won't be enough to get the kill. Maybe in the earlier stages game it could, but as it scales up, the Phoenix Egg will most likely get off due to that the support duo not helping out too much.
Yeah.
So that final pick, like I mentioned, like this Invoker, for example, a Cataclysm, Sunstrike, if you ever see Phoenix pre-Aeon Disc, it's going to be a kill. And they need that from the mid lane, an additional bit of damage.
Well, first, Fnatic needs a new hero on the board. And they're taking quite heavily into their bonus time. They've got quite a bit of team fight coming out of them already, with of course Disable and Overgrowth. In a way, it's not really a stun. But what kind of I bet they're looking for their offlaner right about now. What kind of offlaner we're looking for? There you go. Offlaner offers control, more team fight again as well in the Brewmaster.
Yeah, it's one of the better heroes to disrupt the backlines, and especially because like Phoenix, Treant, Templar Assassin, they don't want to like find this Snapfire in the backlines because they're gonna have a trouble getting through, because CK Dragonite as your front line gonna be a bit too much, I would say. So Brewmaster with the split can isolate Snapfire, so there's not gonna be Mortimer's Kisses a lot of the times, and also being able to like Cyclone one guy. Very annoying. They do have like 2 stuns, but there are no silences on Gaming Gladiators, and with all the beefiness behind him, whether we're talking about the Living Armor or the Sun Rate, like this Brewmaster, he's gonna get the split off in the fights.
It kind of follows up on the point I made about the DK stun. What's that follow-up explosive damage? Now we see as well. I think it was maybe T1 when they had Brewmaster recently. He just rushed Aeon Disc. Maybe it was Boom, I can't remember. But either way, it's like you do this like first item Aeon Disc, and you just position yourself on the high ground. You're tanking the smokes. As it like activates and you kind of get initiated on, you always get the split off. And I'm a little bit worried for Gaming Gladiators now that even if they come out ahead in the lanes, the value of the first ultimates of Fnatic, if used in conjunction together in the same area, it might just be kind of the undoing of their ability to play the map early.
I think the Invoker ban that you mentioned should come out from Fnatic, either that or secure like a Void Spirit to be able to cut into backlines and also deal with both of the supports on Fnatic. They do ban Anti-Mage. So that's a pretty interesting one. They did play one offlane Anti-Mage game on Gaming Gladiators.
They have played DK mid so far on Gaming Gladiators. So potentially they're thinking that, the CK is flexing between carry offlane, DK flexing between offlane mid. So they're just trying to... There's so much flexibility right now with the final 2 picks from Gladiators that they're like, okay, let's just ban out kind of the gotcha.
Could it tell us anything about what they're planning for their last pick? Because of course the Temp or Assassin, they can play mid, they can play it safe, and they might still want to go for something like a Storm for themselves.
I think they're just respecting the flexibility and also the lack of pressure their heroes would give to an anti-mage. An off-lane Brew, the support combo of Tree Phoenix, you buy a Manta, you're kind of brushing off the big team fight from Fnatic, right?
They ban out the Invoker themselves.
Interesting. All right. I guess that kind of does lead towards more of the mid DK.
They also need like a Spirit Vessel carrier. They have CK, IO, and Dragonite. You would definitely love to have someone who can build into it.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I guess that's an indicator of just the DK being most likely the mid lane, right? It is flexing the CK between offlane and carry for Gaming Gladiators. Again, pretty cool. I like it when teams actually have multiple layers of flexibility when they go towards their last pick. Fnatic, their answer to that is just a robust looking lineup. One more ban.
One more ban. Will be a mid ban, a carry ban, not a carry ban in the lifestealer.
They just want to make sure this value of the overgrowth and the egg is super high value.
Instant Ember, and Boom's Ember is a very good one.
Yeah, there's not much lockdown.
Nope.
Very elusive. The only lockdown they got pretty much is Train Protector ulti, and you do not want to initiate with that. So they need some kind of stun silence. I mean, there is Void Spirit that I mentioned. There's also Puck. There's not too much stuff that Puck is worried about, just to be able to tie them together. So I think one of these two options that profit, yeah, she's banned out.
Yeah. Death Frost banned. Of course, Armel's Coddles, first phase banned.
I think the main question is, are they going to put the TA mid or into the safe lane? And from there, again, they have like 10 seconds left.
Yeah, they got to make that decision. No pressure, a little bit of pressure from the clock, of course.
Oh, the old school counter to Ember Spirit. Yeah, I haven't seen the matchup in a while, but it was always Necrophos heavily favored. Like, you can stand on his high ground and Ember can't really do much. You're going to be able to right-click him down, and against these two beefy boys, Aura's going to do a lot. But this is not the, like, stun silence that... also, like, their burst damage. If they want to use Reaper Sight on someone, there's no real follow-up damage to it.
Yeah, this is a game for Gladiators, but it's all eyes on Boom, honestly. The way that he needs to play to carry Necro as well, how he needs to play this game, super in the face of his opponent. He needs to make this tree, the Phoenix, even the Brew feel uncomfortable, make them waste a key spell, and then from there, it opens up the initiation of the CK or the DK or the layered ultimate from Snapfire. If they try and just do a clean jump with like DK first, I'm worried that they won't have the damage to kill off the Necro, the turnaround, the Sun Ray, the Overgrowth, and the Living Armor on top of that. So it's very much Gladiators. They need to play around this Ember perfectly. Fnatic, if they're not impatient, if they're not scared about this type of play, they're going to be able to get some really slick combos off in this game.
It looks like we got Necrophos on the safe lane and Temporal Assassin still mid.
Yep.
And how does the TA versus Ember go?
It's farm.
Yeah.
TA's pretty chill.
Yeah. Both chill?
I want to see the build from Boom.
Okay.
It's a very good Ember Spirit game. I know it's not an item that Ember Spirit players wants to get, but I think it's a really, really good Spirit Vessel game for him. Sometimes you need to think outside of the box against Necro, Phoenix, and the Train Protector. It does kind of shut down your scaling a little bit, but we'll have to see. I'm down for it, because like your Snapfire also does not want to build into it because she wants to keep the distance. So not one of those position 4s that want to go in. Fnatic, they have a disgusting draft. Like it's like a lot of stuff happening with the split and with all these healing. But I'm gonna put more faith in Boom's Ember.
Okay, we're gonna find out how this first game is gonna play itself out together with MLP and Jonix Fire.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are on to our second series here between Fnatic and Gaming Gladiators, and it is MLP Dota and John X5. Jonathan, two great drafts coming out from two great teams. How are you feeling before we do get into it?
I'm feeling great. Looking forward to how these teams go, of course. Fnatic going for that overhealing, sort of playing around with the sustain, Treant, Sunray coming out from Phoenix, Necrophos as well up front. Raven Necrophos, not something we get to see too often as well, but Gaming Gladiators with the Boom Ember. Yeah. The panel mentioned it. He's got to really perform here. He has a lot of options for the itemization. Spirit Vessel does sound really sick, as Lacoste pointed out. So keen to see what direction Boom takes that hero and how well he can enable his team. Because you've got the CK, you've got the DK, you do have some really good single target stuns, but when it comes down to those team fights, Fnatic does look set to control that wider area, control a lot more heroes and force that issue.
Well, I think the main storyline in this game, one at the very least, is going to be Armel against Boom in the mid lane, right? Like you talked about Boom on the Ember, one of his signature heroes, one of his best heroes. Then you've got, of course, Armel and one of his signature heroes as well, the TA. How many times have you and I had the pleasure of casting this man on the TA, and he does tend to pull off a real darn good performance. The Ember, Boom, it's going to be rather scary.
Yeah, for sure. Boom just excels on that Ember. Of course, Armel is very comfy in that TA, but he's a very versatile mid-ret. Armel tends to really give the space out for Raven. We don't see them flex too much between Raven and Armel's win conditions.
Yeah.
It's a very rare thing nowadays with Fnatic, right? Like, they tend to give Armel that tempo. Now it's on Raven to be the tempo setter, and we're much more used to seeing Raven just farm up, play with his TB, play with Adusa, play with those big, slower cores. So I'm keen to see just how well that shift goes for Raven in particular here.
Well, you see Jabs just having a bit of a replacement there with the headset, just getting that sorted before we do go into game number 1. Should be going for an unpause very, very soon here between these two teams. Of course, maybe we need to get Slacks in there to start telling some people off, tell them to start the damn game. Of course, a lot of SEA fans probably in the chat right now saying the exact same thing. Of course, there you see Gaming Gladiators, beautiful people, Jonathan. We talked about it earlier. They've got Steve Aoki playing for them now. It's the Aoki buff, Jonathan. These guys look fantastic in the earlier series I got to cast to them. They're in the middle of the pack right now, but they're a very, very scary team. There he is. There's the man right there, John. Look at him. What a handsome, handsome lad.
That he is. He is. I still don't know who you're talking about. I have no clue who Steve Aoki is. I have no musical taste, Mike.
He's right there, John.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. That is Steve Aoki. He's a Dota 2 pro now as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. The Gaming Gladiators, we'll see what they'll get done. Of course, you are fighting for standings. Group B's real tight right now, John. It's real damn tight. Every game matters. I can't wait to see what happens. Game 1, it's going to be real hype.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to find, I think, a clear 2-0 to break some of those tiebreakers up. If we end up with a bunch of 1-1s, there's some potential for some shenanigans at the end of the day there, Mike. So both teams obviously don't want to play into the night. Playoffs kick off immediately right after tomorrow. So you want to be able to just come in there, relax, with some time to prep, maybe add a scrim or two into the mix. And to get that done, you have to avoid tiebreakers, Mike. So.
Oh, you absolutely do, John. It's scary. Oh, Celery, you've got to be careful. Make his way over. There's no lockdown. And that's one thing Lacoste pointed out on the panel. I think the main issue is here for Fnatic with their draft is you're against an Ember like Boom as well, and you just don't have any lockdown right now. And you just saw in that instance, they may have been able to jump Celery. Problem is, they don't really have a stun.
Yeah, they don't have a solid way of keeping heroes in. They're reliant on Overgrowth, really, the split, and the stun and the Cyclone from the Beast, from the Brewmaster come through. And that is going to be an issue. Holding these heroes down, giving yourself that window to get the damage off is going to be tough. They are still looking for that chase, but just going to find themselves the Bounty Rune trade. We'll see if that's something Gaming Gladiators can use against them. They are cutting the tree line really nicely down bot. One thing that you'd love to see against Treant Protectors, of course, just ensure that you can't just walk in and out of that lane, get the aggression going. And it does tend to make the Treant lane a lot tougher. You can play on the right side.
Whoa.
It's not comfy.
My goodness. The camera angles we're finding here, just fabulous from our observers. Love to see it. It's Gaming Gladiators moving in. Duraccio to go towards the side of Fnatic as Armel going to be able to try and fight over this bounty rune in the mid-river. Duraccio, he does have the stun, so it should be a rather hard bounty to try and steal. They won't even bother trying. It was a 3-for-1 trade on those bounties as well, so it's going to be a great start for Gaming Gladiators. Not so much for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's not going to feel great. And this is an issue that will stay on for Fnatic, that lack of control. It's going to be haunting them for most of the laning phase. You're going to need level 6s to be up. Those are very long cooldowns to expend for the stun aspect. And that's a big window for Gaming Gladiators. We are taking a look at that mid. Armel, again, on his TA, as we mentioned, along with Boom on his Ember. There's a little bit of back and forth. You can melt your refraction very easily as the Ember, but you have to watch that physical trade with Armel. Side blades up, just landing them on makes it pretty tough for the melee hero to find farm, and should be a back and forth one. You know, we've seen this lane kind of stabilize, focus in on farm. There are kill opportunities for either side, but that's considering if someone does make a massive misstep in the lane. So if you do play your cards right, it should end up just being farmy for both ends here.
Yeah. Of course, we should have looked at the other lanes as well. Top lane, you're going to see a jump right now onto Jabs as DJ was trying to protect, but Durantio and Celery certainly can get very, very aggressive with the CKIO. It's one of those things like you give bonus movement speed and attack speed to the CK. With how hard he already hits with that base damage, you're going to have to be very careful as Fnatic.
And you don't have any way of stopping that aggression. No stuns, no way of threatening. You do have decent magic damage on hand once you get the Cinder Brew up and running on Jabs. But holding these heroes down with just the Phoenix support, you're not going to be able to really threaten. You might be able to burn down Celery, but keeping that IO down when he missteps, and without stuns, you can't really do that much.
Well, certainly not. How's that bot lane going? You're going to see Tofu, Ace, of course, against Genuel and Raven. I think Lacoste also kind of pointed out that the POS1 Necro, something you and I don't get to see Raven playing that often. In fact, hold that thought, Jabs. Getting very, very low. Will be served up by GJ. Is going to be fine, but I mean, Gaming Gladiators, this top lane, we already said it. It's very aggressive. It's very scary for Fnatic, and you can see Durantio, every chance he gets, he wants to try and move in for a stun. And here we go again. Jabs, gonna get stunned up. Only a 1 second stun though. They'll go for the rift back. Jabs, gotta be very cautious. There's a lot of damage. Celery looking for the block out, and First Blood is gonna go the way of Game. And Durantio able to pick it up, and boom, already tipping Celery from the mid lane.
And that's just some great positioning to look for that opportunity for Gaming Gladiators. This is something that they should be doing. They can absolutely bully out the top lane. The bot lane maybe not as much. You're still seeing Johnwell find the angles. Trees grow back really fast now. Sustain coming through from Raven makes it annoying for Ace to work that lane. But if you can get aggression from top, I don't think you mind that the bot lane's slower. It's a Necrophos lane. You don't really expect to win that.
Oh boy, that's a lot of damage from Armel. Boom, getting him very, very low on that mid lane. Again, a high kind of skill matchup here in the mid lane between Armel and Boom as top. Jabs, again, going to be in a bit of danger. Durantio just not giving him the space, and, well, poor old Jabs, only 6 CS right now on the Brewmaster. It's not going to get any easier. This lane, it just keeps getting worse as time goes on.
Yeah, it only gets workable once you hit those level 6s. Once you have the split up, you could maybe threaten, but it does feel like you're going to want another ult on top. Maybe threaten with the egg and try to burn someone down. It could be one way. It's still a massive cooldown to commit. And again, just considering how the lanes are going, Gaming Gladiators are just doing really well. They're managing to win out the top lane. They're managing to even out the bot lane. Like, you aren't finding the best CS on Ace, but he's not lagging behind the Necrophos. And again, as a Necrophos, you need to dominate that lane. We're not seeing that big dominance out from Raven. He's not giving any openings towards Game to look for the aggression with the double stun.
Uh-oh. Yeah, DJ just gets a new one. Durantio just tears him apart. No real contest. Celery, he'll be the one to take the kill, but it's such a rough offlane Fnatic. How do you recover from that? I mean, Jabs, you're going to have to find a way to get some farm going on this Brewmasters. It's just not going to get any better as time goes on. Like, what do you do here, John? Do you creep skip? Do you pull the creep wave? How do you fix this lane up now?
Creep skipping sounds good. I think you've got to accept that the lane's just sort of dead. Jabs will try to pull back, but you've got the mobility to punish.
I love this from Gaming Gladiators. They're just not going to allow it. Jabs, he will get away with it in the end, but Celery, he'll go for a bit of a chase down. He does not want to make it easy. As Jabs will continue pulling away the creep wave. Celery, can he get it to a neutral perhaps? Oh, looks like he may just. No, Jabs still getting the aggro. Is going to keep pulling. Through the Roshan they go. Celery, he'll chase them all the way. It looks like Jabs does get away with the creep wave. Keep in mind though, John, this is all free farm now for Durantio, just in the safe lane. Just hidden creeps. In fact, never mind that. Durantio wants to try and intercept, but is not going to be able to get the rift off.
And you really do just want to punish. And even if you're not punishing, a CK with this much early farm, going to mean an early armlet out for Durantio. He's just going to be able to really be aggressive. I think the only shining moment right now for Fnatic is that mid lane for Armel. Like, he is finding the farm. He's worked that lane against Boom really, really well. Has a nice considerable CS lead, has been playing the small camp as well.
Big trouble. No Ghost Rat up. Breathe Fire, not going to be enough. Raven barely surviving, will be salved up by Januel. But even the safe lane of Fnatic not really being as dominant as you would have once expected.
Yeah, it's a lot of investment just to stay there. And again, when you've got the Necros and he's not completely beating down DK, it doesn't feel great. Top again, just constant aggression out into jabs.
Yeah, he's in big trouble. They'll chase him down with the overpower. It's just so much attack speed for Durantio, but they have lost the Brewmaster. At least for now, but Jabs, such low HP, cannot stick around. He'll have to make the walk of shame back, surely towards the fountain as mid lane. Armel going to try and fight for the regen room, but boom. Easily Remnants over, does pick it up. Is able to remain within the lane against the TA. But you've got to give props to Armel, John. His CS, top of the board right now.
It's the only lane that's going well for Fnatic. Everything else has been less than ideal for Fnatic. Game and Gladiators are just working this early timing, well, threatening with how durable they are, threatening with the stuns, and Jabs is just never safe. Every time he shows up for that CS, immediately loses the HP. I think DJ must have expended like 3-4 salves at this point just to keep Jabs in lane.
It's going to be a lot. There you go. 1.1k, Jonathan, spent by DJ just to keep Jabs going. And well, even then, Jabs is still level 4. Almost 7 minutes in, level 4 on the Brewmaster. Compare that to the level 6 of Durantio. What do you do now? Like, do you even return to the lane anymore? Is it time to just give up on it? He's coming back. They need some kind of rotation, but they've got a TA mid. They'll bring Januel up instead. Jabs, again in big danger. They'll slow them down with the Fire Spirits, the Celery. He's going to be the target here for Januel with the lead team, but Durantio going to try and keep him safe as Celery. Looks to survive, and they just go back in. Stuns out, DJ, he'll cop it. Durantio moving in again. Look at the damage output. Armel's going to move in, trying to focus down Celery, but they've lost DJ. They'll get Celery down, but Durantio's out. They've got no stuns.
No level 6 is up, no stuns, no overgrowth, no split, no Stone Panda to kind of get that done for you. And it's just so easy for Game and Gladiators to overextend, knowing that it's going to be long and hard beside a Fnatic to punish. At the very least, Armel does find a kill for his troubles, has the power treads up, is working towards that Dragonlance quite nicely here. And considering these slower lanes, Armel and Raven are finding some good farm. You're getting that early build-up, but the aggression for game, and it's just never stopping.
Oh, Boom's trying to get aggressive now mid lane. Armel is going to be fine. They'll just burn through the refraction charges. Boom is just about 500 gold net worth behind the TA, but it's something you'd expect, right? Like, TA is just a flash farmer. You're always going to be behind this hero. In fact, props to Durantio. He's still ahead on the CK, but to be fair, he has had a pretty free lane for himself.
Yeah, he certainly has. It's been free. He's been getting aggression out. There's no contest from Jabs. They have managed to build a lot of stacks on Fnatic's end, so they are clearing it out now for Armel to get that build up into the Dragonlance. He is just going for that more, not really tempo, but the scaling TA Dragonlance into Deso, looking to just build up for his team, acting as the real win condition. Raven, for his part, is trying to rush into Travel, so you should expect some more early activity from Necros. It does feel like Fnatic should start to play around that.
Bot lane, chains out, Dragon Tail will follow up. Cookie, it's perfect timing. Game and Gladiators chaining everything just perfectly as Raven, he just could not survive through it. There was no help around either. Januel, he does TP in the end, but all he can do now is try to defend that bottom tier 1 tower and ace. He's just going to start chipping away at it. Even without the dragon form up, it will be there in a second. So that bottom tier 1 tower, it's as good as dead.
Yeah, it's not going to last long. Living armor only at level 1 as well. Not the best amount to sustain. The armor's not the highest as well. They will TP back Raven, though. He does have Reaper's Sight. He's got his Hood of Defiance. He's a bit tankier here.
But where are you going to get the damage, John? Where's the damage coming from?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of need the TA to show up, but it's a farming TA. It's a TA mid. You don't really want to. You don't have a blink up. So it's a bit of an awkward spot for Fnatic. It feels like Fnatic, they understand that they've got really good team fight when their supports hit level 6 as well with the cores. It just such a slow process considering how far behind they were in those lanes.
Ace Rune, Armel, he's going to get chained up. Remnants forward, boom. He gets it first. Armel will meld up, but it's not going to matter. Sentry's down. TP's not enough either. High fives between the GG boys as they move in for more. DJ, he's going to be okay. Jabs will be left to run, but they're going after that mid-tier 1 tower now. They've got the siege creep up. It does seem like Fnatic are about to lose all their tier 1 towers by around the 11-minute mark. As Gaiman looking for a bit more to jump in, but they'll go right back after that tier 1 mid tower. And the bottom tier 1, it's as good as gone as well. This is a disastrous start for Fnatic.
It's not looking good, but Gaming Gladiators playing excellently, understanding the strengths of their drafts, understanding the weakness of Fnatic at every single lane, and just having Boom pop off. Like, he just shows up, he is building into that Spirit Vessel, so you will have a really strong way of just counteracting all the healing from the tree and all the healing from the Phoenix and the Necrophos, and suddenly that sustain that Fnatic wants in the middle of these fights, it feels a lot less impactful. So you're going to have to watch yourself here. Fnatic, they're still playing slow. They're trying to build up for the TA, but it does feel like they've neglected their Brewmaster and their Necrophos in terms of getting that pace going. No splits out yet from Jabs, just focusing on the farm. No Reaper Sight usage from Raven. It's like you said when we pointed this out, though. No damage. Not until Armel's in can you really play around these spells.
Ace, he'll move in again. Bot tier 1 tower. He's got the help right behind him. Fnatic, they have moved their way up. Cookie, it's off the mark, but Raven, he was still stunned up. Mortimer's kisses are there. Egg is dropped with the little shredder. It's going to make it in time. Reaper Sight does nothing. They'll eventually find Tofu, but what does it matter? Duraccio, he'd be a much bigger kill if Fnatic can find it, but GG, they are around to try and help out as Duraccio is going to get dived. Maybe they have the damage. Celery, unable to relocate in time. Meanwhile, Boom, he needs to remnant out. Fnatic, they don't lose that tier 1, and they do find a couple of great pickoffs as Jabs was looking for a bit more, but is unable to find another target.
Yeah, it's a bit split up there for Fnatic. You know, the egg came down, we didn't have the Ogre immediately on top of it. Jabs, with the split, does make a lot of big plays, cutting off that aggression, giving Fnatic that opening. There is a solution here coming on for Fnatic. There's that instant response from Gaiman when they can just relocate around. They've got an Ember who can be really aggressive, but you still have to respect that without the Spirit Vessel fully up, the sustain is still pretty strong. Raven just manages to stand in front with the Hood of Defiance through all of that and still manages to get work done. Doesn't get a Reaper Sight charge, but still kind of sets up the kills that they need on Fnatic's end. Smoke out here, though.
Yeah, big kill if they can find Armel. Boom, moving in immediately. Cookie, oh, it's off the mark again. Second time in a row. A player from Gaiman, they just turn around at the wrong moment and they'll miss the Cookie.
Yeah, sometimes that Cookie, you try to throw it out in a very, very, very precise moment, and the wavelengths don't line up. And so you miss out on an opportunity. Armel gets back to farming. Could have been a very big kill to cement Gaming Gladiator's position, kind of compensate for that last fight. Instead, Armel is just going to go back to farm. You can see that here again.
Yeah, what can you do? Cookie out, boom, whoops. I don't want this anymore. He was trying to throw a remnant out for the exit plan, but wrong timing. Bit unfortunate.
It happens sometimes, you know, trying to play it safe, have all your bases covered, and it just lines up at the wrong time. And Gaming Gladiators, they're still leading by a good amount despite missing some of that kills. 3-6, 3k lead for Gaiman, getting some really solid build up here on Duraccio. Blink coming out next for his CK with the Echo Saber and Armlet up. So he's going to be able to initiate really well for his team, tying that in with down the line Ace's Blink. He's going for the BKB first on the DK. So they want that big frontline hero. They just don't want to be bursted down and held down by Fnatic's team fight. Fnatic, for their part, they've been sitting on level 6 for a while now. They've got Overgrowth back up. They've got Egg back up. They've got Split back up. Even the Reaper Sight is ready on Raven. It feels like this is the moment where Fnatic should start to be looking for more. They've got Travels up in Raven. You can just show up to any lane to get a fight going.
Where do they go? Fnatic still very defensive. They'll TP down bot. 4 heroes, they might go for a smoke attempt. There you go. Raven will join. Jabs with the primal split should be able to set up. Ace is the target they're looking for on the Dragon Knight as they try to slow him down, but they miss out with the Nature's Grasp. Ace, he'll go for a run. Mortimer's Kisses are in. Jabs, he won't go for the primal split yet. In fact, they don't need it. Reaper's Scythe will be enough. Raven, he'll get the damage in, but here come Gaiman. They want to get a bit of revenge going onto the Necrophos. Ghost Shroud will protect them. The Primal Split is going to be out. Onto the Ember they go, boom. He is trying to get his way out, but remedying just an inch away as the Cyclone, Duraccio, getting caught, but Celery, he should go for a relocate very soon and does get it off. They do reset, because Celery is going to have to come back into this fight. So it should be another kill for Fnatic. A 3-for-0 so far, including the IO, but boom, he's going to move in and try to save Celery. Tether away to Raccio. He went back in. This might cost him. He'll try for the TP out, and in fact, he'll make it. Just TP forehead.
No stuns. You know, stuns win games, Mike, and for Fnatic, that's all tied into the ults. None of them were up. They expended it at the start of the fight. You still lose Celery. You don't lose the Raccio. It feels a lot better for Fnatic still. You know, they find some big pickoffs over there. They slow down the build-up of Ace into his BKB, and they get that charge up on Raven. Fnatic just needs to keep playing around those cooldowns. Next time they've got 3 ults up, look for the kill, keep forcing the plays, drag in Armel every now and again, have him kind of peek in and out of farming and kills and just build up that way. For Gaimin, every time those ults are down, that's an opportunity for them, and that's a lot more opportunities as there's a lot of ults with pretty decently long cooldowns here for Fnatic.
Oh, Raccio will start the Roshan. Gaming Gladiator is going to move in. Jabs, he seems to know something is a rise. He sees the courier now, does take it down, does now very realize that the Roshan is being taken as they'll drag him in. Jabs gets rifted up. Boom, he gave the vision with the sleight of fist, but Jabs, he's going to be fine. Raven does save the day with the Death Seeker as Jabs. He'll keep going. Raccio, the one in trouble. The Chaos Knight's gone. Ace, gonna BKB and run. Boom, he'll try to do the same. Remnant away the Overgrowth. Not gonna hold him down. Death Seeker to follow. Raccio, he'll bite back as Jabs is gone now. Fnatic, they need to retreat. Armel will blink away. Raven, he'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and just walk as DJ has the Icarus dive. Gaimin, they bought back for this, John. They won't find a kill that they really wanted apart from Jabs, but they have to go back for the Roshan now.
And they've got to try to take it. They've got the egg ready here on Fnatic. Just need a good angle for DJ. They've still got some play left despite not having Overgrowth here.
Oh, DJ, Sunray's a bit early. He was looking to sneak in and still... Oh, DJ, no. He's got the Icarus dive. He's going to be okay. Gaimin, they'll keep going. Armel, he does have a blink up. Gaimin are taking their time with this Roshan. They're being very patient as the traps are giving vision on the health of the Roshan. Jabs is back up with the primal split to boot, so this is not the team fight anymore for Gaimin. They've still committed a buyback for this. They'll smoke up instead. Armel in the meantime will meld right in the Roshan pit and might try to steal it while they are fighting. Jabs, he'll hold them back. Raccio, he's too far forward. Reaper sight this out. It is going to be enough in the end to take him down. The relocate was not there in time. Celery, he's going to get out of there, but so do the rest of Gaimin as the Cyclone is out. Jabs, he'll hold down Tofu. The Snapfire in big trouble. There's your IO. There's your relocate back the other way towards the Roshan pit. But Roshan's gone, John. Armel, he takes it while the fight was happening. Fnatic, it's a massive win for the Radiant.
That was such a tricky fight for Fnatic to really execute, right? Like, they didn't have Overgrowth, they had Egg, they barely got Jabs back after stalling Roche for such a long time, yet they still find the timing to do that. They forced the issue, great blink in from Armel, just while everyone was out. There was the sentry to spot him if someone was hanging in that pit. But he chooses the right time to go, clears out Roshan, and gives Fnatic that opportunity to just take this very fragmented fight. Gaimin, they didn't quite go all in on Roche. They were going in and out. It was giving so much time for Fnatic that they still found the opportunity. Despite, again, Overgrowth's probably their one big stunt to set up for, say, the egg. And they still managed to not find that opportunity despite that spell being blown by John Well much earlier on. So Fnatic riding on the coattails now of Armel. Our TA is growing bigger and bigger now. 10k net worth above the CK. After a bit of a slower start, Fnatic has found themselves a foundation to stand on. And the only hero struggling on Fnatic's end is Jabs. The build-up here on our Brewmaster going a lot slower than you'd want to. Ag's going to be delayed. Refresh down the line's going to be a lot longer. Gaimin, they still have those early timings lined up for Raccio and for our DK.
I mean, you got to give credit to Jabs, though. He's having a great time, a great game so far, just setting up every fight as we do get to see the net worth difference here between Armel and Raccio. And naturally, Raccio, he was keeping up very effectively, Jonathan, but after those last team fights, that buyback committed, the dieback happening, it's just terrible news for Gaimin now. Raven taking a great lead, and this is where you've got to be very careful as Gaimin. You hit a timing with this TA Necrophos, it's hard to keep up after, once they've hit that timing, and well, we'll see when Fnatic do want to start really pressuring. If they might want a few more items up on Armel before they do get going. Maybe just the Dragonlance to come out. But it's looking real darn good for Fnatic at the moment as Gaimin. Well, they're the ones that got to find a way to try and fight back against the power spike.
Yeah, I think for Gaiman, a couple of BKBs will help the cause. They already have that BKB up on Ace, but he doesn't have the blink. So you don't have the follow through on the DK to help out your Ember, especially if he does jump in the front. Boom is also working towards his own BKB. And I think once you have those 2 BKBs plus the blink on DK, that's when the opportunities line itself up once more for Gaiman. That's when they can see the ults expended, they go in.
Jabs, go for a rush in. Boom will remnant away. The rest of Gaming Gladiators is going towards the bottom side of the map, trying to get that farm going, realizing they may be a little bit too far behind at the moment. Armel, in the meantime, he'll take the top tier 2 tower, or at least try to force the defense to come out here from Gaiman, but he's got so much trap vision in those tree lines. There's just nowhere to TP in. You go, Armel, chances are he's just going to jump you. Gaiman, they seem to know this. They won't make the defense up towards the top tier 2 tower. Instead, Fnatic, they'll go to them down towards the bot lane, but for Gaiman, they do back up at the exact right time.
Yeah, just avoiding every single fight right now for Gaiman. They know they're up against Aegis. They know these spells from Fnatic are off cooldown. Fnatic gonna smoke in from the bot. Could have a good collapse opportunity onto the mid. As Jabs is also around, looking for that opportunity. Ace is pretty beefy. It's the only target they really see. No one else up top. Boom is farming up very far away from that smoke location. He's getting a good flank here. It's going to be a little bit tougher, and it does feel like that smoke is wasted. Gaiman should be able to just avoid hanging around in the bot lane, keeping their own farm game up. Fnatic, I mean, they've already taken the top tier 2. They could take Outpost, but Aegis still has a lot of time. Well, at least less than a minute. Enough time to at least pressure a tier 2 again.
Absolutely. Back into the mid tier 2 tower they go, Fnatic. Gaiman not really interested in trying to respond right now. Celery even just relocating to the mid lane to try and just skip the creep wave and force them to back off and stop going after the tier 2 mid tower. You'd love to see it, but Celery, he's still an IO, John. He's just delaying the inevitable, and in fact, the tier 2's gone. The backdoor never kicked in.
Just too much damage coming out from Armel. And Gaiman are, again, doing a great job of avoiding, but it begs the question, if Fnatic never fights, they're never going to use their ults. If they never use their ults, they're always off cooldown. If they're always off cooldown, Gaiman can't force a fight. So they're kind of stuck in the stalemate.
He's going to blink right into Celery. Durantio immediately just TPing out. Celery, he'll do the same. Nice quick thinking. Armel unable to find himself a target, but he will take the bottom tier 1 tower instead. Again, Gaming Gladiators, they just don't seem interested in a fight right now. They understand it's a power spike for Fnatic. They've got to just leave them alone for a bit, get that initial farm going on Durantio, maybe a BKB to come out before you smoke up and go for the fight.
Yeah, they've already got 1 BKB up on Boom in addition to Ace's early BKB. And this should be Durantio's full BKB being flown out as well. So triple BKBs up for Gaiman. This should be the moment where they can commit onto Fnatic. Their ults do go through BKBs, so that is one way for Fnatic to do it, but John Well is going to have to time himself really well with that overgrowth to give that opportunity back to Fnatic despite that spell immunity.
Fnatic, they'll group up down a bot lane. This could be a blessing in disguise here for Gaiman. Again, the BKB's up. They should be willing to smoke and try to force the fight. Even on the low ground, and there's your smoke up now, Gaiman. They'll make their way over through the bot lane. It'll be a big team fight for them. Tofu, the only one who'll stick back. Just for the Mortimer's Kisses as Boom will frontline for the team. Fnatic, though, they realize the smoke might be happening. They'll back off in the tree line underneath their own vision. They'll wait very carefully. It's Gaiman. They're wrapping around the long way. Trying to find a nice angle to initiate this team fight as Armel. He's going to show himself, but this is all a trap. Fnatic, they have all the vision in the world with the traps and with the Tinker Ward. It could be a terrible team fight for Gaiman to try and initiate. But they've got to try with those BKBs. There's no choice in the matter. They're still waiting. Armel, he does take the tier 2 bot. Are they going to jump? Ace, not quite yet. There's a counter smoke now from Fnatic, but it's going to be broken immediately on Jabs. Durantio still waiting behind the tree line. Boom, he's going to show himself on the Ember Spirit. But there is your Primal Split. Boom, remnanting back, is going to get stunned up, I believe, as the Rock will follow. He's still fine as Jabs. He'll look around for a bit more, but Durantio going to try and go after the Spirits. Will get tornadoed up. Instead, Celery, he's the one caught out now. But where's the follow-up damage? It's not there yet. Here comes the TA, though. They're trying to get out. Armel right into the backside onto Celery with his own BKB. Celery, he's dropping low. There's your Meld Strike. Durantio, he's been left alone. Celery Celery, he'll buy back. Genuel's gone. They're going to go for the fight. The egg, it does explode. Jabs is going to drop to boot. Duraccio, he'll barely go down here to Raven. Can they really take the fight? Mel going after Tofu. We'll find another, but it seems like Fnatic, they've gone too far. Boom, on a triple kill will completely clean up the side of Fnatic.
Oh man, it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of patience coming through there from both sides to look for that opportunity. Fnatic in the end got a little bit impatient. They smoke, they break, they immediately try to rectify that, look for the straggler, or what they thought was the straggler, and didn't quite find the angle. Really great split from Jabs to cut off the aggression on the left side, but they were waiting. Boom was just hanging back. They instantly lose the Fire Panda, so a lot of damage lacked. Armel had to jump in with his BKB to kill off the IO, and that left him very vulnerable once that BKB faded. They couldn't land that Overgrowth egg combo once more, and Johnny just dies. Little Shredder ruins his game.
And that was very heads up from Gaiman as well. They seem to have read the fact that there may have been vision placed down in that tree line on the far right side of the map from Fnatic, and they were correct. Had they fought in that area, it may have been a different story, but they forced Fnatic to go to the high ground of the triangle first, and naturally they're at a disadvantage trying to make it to that high ground. And so Fnatic, they overextend a little bit, and suddenly Gaiman, they've got the net worth lead once again.
Yeah, they bounce back in. They are the aggressors at this point with Crudo and Tier 2s and Jabs.
Yeah, he's in big trouble again. Can he get himself out? Stun is there, Duraccio. He'll hold him down forever. Jabs can knock it out of there. Gaiman, they'll find another great kill. And suddenly they're onto the top tier 2 tower.
That's a painful death for Jabs. He was 200 gold away from the full Ags buyout. Double charge on Primal would have been game-changing in the middle of these fights. Just gets a little bit impatient farming forward. Doesn't respect that mobility from Gaiman. They find a punishment. Tier 2, living armor's there. It's not going to keep it alive for that much longer.
At all. Gaiman, again, doing a fantastic job here in this game. Number one. Fnatic, they had such a great start, but suddenly they are falling behind. See what they can do to try and push the game back their way now. 3k net worth advantage for Gaiman. Not too far ahead, but if you're Fnatic, you'd rather have that on your end of things. This Gaiman, they're going to start Roshan once again. Last time around, they were forced to give the Roshan back the way of Fnatic. This time, they do not want to allow it. They'll rush Roshan real darn fast. Fnatic are going to try and smoke over. Are they going to really be able to make it? It doesn't seem like it, but they have a bit of time. They're trying to rush, but it's too late to Duraccio. He's got the Aegis from Fnatic. I don't think they'll force this fight. Surely. And they won't.
Just a bit late on that smoke if they managed to reach there in time. Overgrowth, Blink ready on Johnny Well. They had the egg ready. Everything was set to go. And that might have been an opportunity for them to sneak another Roche if they managed to find that angle. Gaiman up by 5k, 11-13. Such a tight match between these two teams. Very patient from both sides. Very calculated movement. As Gaiman are going for their own smoke now with the Aegis up.
They are. Here we go. They've got the advantage with that secondary life. Shards up as well. Duraccio feeling very confident. Ags is there now on Jabs though. He's got 2 charges of the primal split. It could be bad timing for Gaiman to try and initiate because they don't know the Ags is there. Duraccio not going to find the target he wants. Fnatic still just hiding throughout the mid lane in the tree line as they will spot out Boom, but do they have the lockdown? Not quite. Boom, he's going to be just fine to walk out of there. Again, your only lockdown is Januel or Jabs. You are heavily reliant on those two, and of course you can commit a very quick Reaper Scythe, but chances are you aren't going to be able to get the damage in from full HP. So Boom, still being chased down here by Fnatic, but again, I just don't think they have the lockdown.
Gaiman are getting a nice slow push done on the top set of racks in Tier 3 now. Just pressuring with the lane being shoved in. Ace getting that done all by himself with a shard. Raven forced to respond. So you're going to miss that one piece of lockdown now coming from Necroforce. You're going to miss that big, easy wave ripping apart these strength cores with Reaper's Sight, and Gaiman just back off. They can afford to play it a little bit slower. They know they have the lead. They know it's on Fnatic's best interest to try to force bigger team fights. Every single time they don't, they get to farm a lot more. The CK scaling up really well. Boom on the Ember already has the Shiva's Guard up. Just able to kite around some of these heroes a lot more and mitigate some of that healing as well in the middle of these fights. Fnatic, they've got a lot of issues going into those engagements. It's all about timing. If Johnny-Well can get the Overgrowth after BKBs are popped, then the fight can maybe feel manageable for Fnatic.
Jabs, he'll pop the Primal Split. Keep in mind they have the Ags now up on the DK, so you've got the Big Black Dragon. Celery might just drop immediately, and does. Armel will use his BKB to take him out. Jabs, he'll go for another Tornado onto Tofu. Boom, he's going to make his way over. Jabs still going. Has another primal split, but the stuns are around. Duraccio going to try and burst him down. Jabs, he's gone. He doesn't get the secondary life off. In the egg, there is going to be an egg out from DJ, but it's not going to last. In fact, Januel, he's going to drop to boot. Draven will be chased down. Mortimer's kisses out through the Ghost Shroud. He will melt.
It's getting a bit dicey. Fnatic, they force that fight, they blink in, get the overgrowth. DJ feels like he's in a tough situation. He can't really get a good egg off. They have so much attack speed in gaming. The combination just isn't doing enough, and it's difficult for Fnatic to just find the openings. With those big kills and with the ults down, Gaimin have a perfect opportunity to just clean up the top set of racks. They still have some tier 2s to work through. Not going to be able to find that much more, but this just cements their position in this game. It's Fnatic don't have the best angles. They don't have a lot of options in trying to find these pickoffs. They need to commit the ults. And if they commit the ults and nothing happens, if the BKB usage is perfect from Gaimin, you just don't have anything. Like, you can try to hope that Armel fights and gets damage. It's a lot of heroes he has to manage by himself.
Yeah, Gaimin Gladiator is just so strong. I mean, it was so patient, John. They just waited for their BKB timings, and suddenly they just turned the whole game on its head as Jabs. We'll go for a primal split. Armel in the backside trying to go after Boom. Just doesn't have the damage right now. They'll go for the fight. Armel, he's going to lose his BKB very, very soon as Duraccio trying after DJ. He'll Icarus dive out, but Duraccio again going in onto Raven. That's a big target. They've got the Necrophos. He does have buyback, and he'll commit immediately as GG. Are they going to stick around? It does seem like they want to retreat. Armel still chipping away. Jabs, he has another primal split in 5 seconds, but it is 5 seconds away, and it's 5 seconds too long.
That's enough time for Gaimin to just back off. The Gladiators reposition onto the high ground in the triangle. Fnatic, they bought back on Raven. They want to get something done out of this. Raven, I mean, he's been having some really good farm, especially from the early game. Right, he wasn't dominating the lane, but he was getting that build-up. We're at the point we are 32 minutes in, Mike. Only one Reaper site charge. Like, sure, it's not really why you picked the hero to really just keep getting those stacks up. At the same time, Necrophos wants to be ahead. You want to be finding kills every single time with a Reaper site. 32 minutes and just one kill. Like, they haven't been able to play around the ults as well as they wanted to on Fnatic's end, and it's all off the back of how well GG's been reading the map, reading the movement, and just positioning themselves perfectly to avoid those engagements.
Been a very, very good play here from Gaimin Gladiators now. 13k net worth advantage. Fnatic, they are still holding on to 2 Raxes. The Aegis does expire as well. They've got to regroup and recover. Gaimin, they just got to keep doing exactly what they're doing. Just dominating. So they'll hold the Radiant jungle. They'll move their way into the bottom tier 2 tower now. On the brighter side, Armel, he does have the silver edge up. It still doesn't feel like it's going to be anywhere near enough, though.
No, not quite. Like, the damage output is getting a little bit better. The break mechanic is useful.
Big group up mid lane. Gaimin, not going to have the lockdown. Armel, he's going to be okay to get to the high ground. You can see Gaimin, they're just so hot. They're just so thirsty for blood right now. They understand how powerful they are. They just want to go. Back down to the bot tier 2 tower. They'll start with that. Open up the whole map. Really open up that high ground. Make it harder for Fnatic. Duraccio, he'll get started.
With the overcharge up, doesn't take too long with all the attack speed he has. Fnatic, their one shining point here, Mike, is their high ground hold is pretty good. Overgrowth, egg, the combination shines in such a confined area. Now it's all about execution for Fnatic. Finding that opening, finding the position to get a good egg, to get that good overgrowth, to enable Armel to just focus in and hit. Maybe have Raven provide some slight healing and disarms with the Death Seeker. GG though, will go for a smoke play themselves, reclaim the triangle. Are looking for a scan, thinking that Fnatic's using this opportunity to farm up. Not quite. They do have a flank angle from top. They will just break the smoke and kind of go farming with a CK. Fnatic, a little bit more time here to try and catch up. But GG, they've just covered most of the map. They're taking control in the triangle, shoving in all the lanes. There's not much room for Fnatic to breathe here, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Armel's still top of the net worth port, surprisingly enough, here on this TA, regardless of what's happened. They are 16k behind. But Armel, he's still got the farm. It just might be getting to that stage where you might want to start thinking about Divines, John. Might be one of those games.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, though, going for the Divine on the TA. It just doesn't feel like a very secure TA game. You know, it's not like you're the most survivable up front. There's a lot of damage, a lot of attack speed coming through from GG to burn through your refraction. And they've already got the gem anyway, so Meld's not going to be saving as well. Neither is that Silver Edge. But it does feel like it might be an all-in playtime. You know, you do need to bring something out of the bag here. I guess a couple more things is like, say, a refresh up on Zhao would be one way, but has a pause 5-3, and yeah, that's a bit of a pipe dream right now, Mike.
Yeah. Well, the best they can do right now is just keep split pushing, and you'll see Armel skipping the bot creep wave. They use the relocate to try and push it back in, but Armel is not allowing it, so instead Gaiman, they might force themselves through the mid or top lane. Force the fight that way. Sperm will move in, chains a route onto the Brewmaster, but Jabs, he's going to be fine. They've got the Black Dragon there from Ace. So much damage on those racks to the mid lane, as they do get the range racks. They're taking things nice and slow for now. Not overextending here on game, and as they do move in, Jabs. Oh, that's a lot of damage, Jabs. He'll try to survive through it. He needs that primal split. He does barely get it off in time. Jabs now, he can't really move back in. They can't force the fight, I don't think. It does feel like Gaiman need to overextend for Fnatic to have a chance to win a team fight here in this high ground.
Yeah, they've really got to do a couple of things. GG needs to clump up and kind of be lousy with BKBs. Like, just a slip of the decision-making in terms of getting that spell immunity, that's when Fnatic finds the opening. But when you're relying on small mistakes to find your opening, it's really tough to force that out of your opponents, especially considering how GG's been playing. Just very clean, very patient, and very calculated every single step. They eventually find that mid set of racks. Only the bot left. Roshan up in 40 seconds. GG already checking the area. And Scan is there to spot them out from Fnatic, but they figure out it's also not happening as well. Fnatic are smoked up, though. Wanted to force something.
Oh, they think Roshan's happening. Oh, boom, he breaks the smoke, too. Nothing going to come out of this. Sperm chains us up the TA. DJ going to try to move in.